Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner. Classic/non-classic. This is episode 102, DoubleShot 45. In this review, we're doing both miniseries for Spider-Man Noir. The original Spider-Man Noir miniseries, and Eyes Without a Face. First up, the original miniseries. Now, despite people say there's negative reviews, people thought this was a good read. But overall, despite the fact this is a completely different character than in the mainstream universe, this is still very good. You got Noir versions, not only of Spider-Man, but May Parker, Felicia Hardy. She runs a speakeasy known as the Black Cat. Now, this book plus the other one takes place in 1933. My guess is this one, because they say that Hooper is still in the White House, and FDR is going to go in the White House. My guess is that this book takes place during the month of January of 1933. This one takes place, and the following one takes place a few months later. Basically, the whole story of this is basically Spider-Man is basically going after a guy called the Goblin, who is Norman Osborn in this timeline. And in this universe, there is Noir versions of not only Spider-Man, Felicia Hardy, there's one of Jameson, who runs the Daily Bugle in here. Now, of course, it's the Great Depression, and of course, the Enforcers also work for Norman Osborn. The Enforcers in this universe, like in the mainstream universe, is made up of Fancy Dan, Ox, and Montana. Interesting little group. I like the fact that they're in here, and you also got the Speakeasy, and of course, Norman Osborn's other henchmen are in fact Kraven the Hunter, the Vulture, and the Chameleon of all people. Yes, the Chameleon, who doesn't really show up in here. He shows up at the beginning and gets killed off. Or apparently framed Spider-Man for the death of Jameson. There's also the Ben Urch one. In this version, the burglar is not responsible for the death of Ben Parker. He does die in this one. Ben Parker is killed by the Vulture, who is a cannibal. Yeah, he's a cannibal. He dies in flashback. But in the end, pretty much almost all the villains pretty much get killed off in some way, shape, or form by the end of the series. Yeah, everybody dies. Yeah. The only villains I can think of probably did not die is maybe a couple of the Enforcers. But most of the villains who appear in here all get pretty much killed off by the time the series ends. But it's a good, really interesting take on Spider-Man. If you're a Spider-Man fan, I recommend get this, because this is so good. And the reason why I decided to read this again, because he's going to come back. Not in a video game like he did with Shattered Dimensions. He's coming back in Spider-Verse, okay? So, because this book is so good. Now, this book is written by, plus the follow-up, it is written by, if I can find the right page, it's written by David Hayne with Fabrice Cebulski, and art by Carmine Del Gadspino. Sorry, I butchered those names, but I'm guessing that's how you pronounce those names. But a Noir take on Spider-Man, not a bad idea. And this one's a lot more violent than the mainstream one, because this guy uses guns, and he does kill people. And he doesn't have power. You know, despite the fact in the Noir universe, nobody has powers, but Spider-Man does. He gets his powers from an ancient spider. The spider itself is not really well explained in here, and it's not explained in the Fallout miniseries. But I really wish, if you read this trade, you're probably thinking, maybe they should make this an ongoing series, because this is so good. I give this thing a 9. The only thing I would take away from this is the fact that it's a bit more violent than the mainstream universe, okay? And next, you got the follow-up. Not that many new characters make a debut in this miniseries. You got the Noir version of the Crime Master, the Sandman, Kirk Connors, and Dr. Octopus. Plus, you also have a debut of, in this particular universe, of Gloria Grant and Robbie Robertson. Daily Bugle doesn't show up anywhere in here. The only new development in the case for Spider-Man, well, he's called The Spider-Man, that's what he's called in this universe, is that he started with, oh yes, they also had debut of Mary Jane Watson here. Now, in this particular thing, at the start of it, he's already in a, now this takes place probably about, I'd say, 3 to 4 months after the events of this one, because this one takes place very early on in 1983. This one probably takes place in the summer because it's snowing in that one. This one probably takes place probably in the late spring, early summer, because there's no snow in here. Basically, Crime Master's new thing in town. And spoiler, the Goblin died at the end of the last miniseries. The Spider-Man is in a relationship with Felicia Hardy. This wife actually slightly older than he is. She's probably like in her mid-20s, I'd say. 1 second here. Oh. Sorry about that. I had to check because I like 96 popped on my Facebook. Anyways, it's nice to see Gloria Grant in here. Oh, and almost forgot. Betty Brant's in here too. She doesn't do very much. She's just a little mini. She's a minor character. And here, Robbie is a really good part of this. Oh, and Ben Urch is in here too, but he dies. Yeah, Ben Urch gets killed. In here, there's no mention of Bugle at all. I mean, you got some newspaper. I mean, there's no mention of Peter Parker being a photographer. I mean, he's acting like some kind of private detective. Let's see. But this is a really good follow-up. You get a chance to go see Ellis Island, see what it looks like in this universe. Let's see. Plus, there's also very Felicia Hardy's relation not only with the Spider-Man, a.k.a. Peter Parker, which knows his identity very early on, but she's always in a relation with the Crime Master, who basically slashes up her face. Yeah. Now, the Sandman in this universe has no powers, but yet he's very strange. Yeah. He's a hitman. That's what he is. He works with the Crime Master, which, let me think. In the mainstream universe, he did once work with the Crime Master, but that's pretty much, that's the only connection I could think of. But, the Crime Master here is a lot more violent. Of course, it's not Lucky Nicky Lewis. It's some guy named, Sam. And, Otto Octavius is German in this miniseries. Yeah. That's one thing I thought was quite odd. The fact Otto Octavius wasn't... He's never called Dr. Octopus, but technically this is Dr. Octopus. Yeah, he's a genius, plus he's a cripple. At the end, basically, people find out about this. He gets arrested, but he gets deported to Germany. And Hiram Kimmel just shuns him off because he's a cripple. And, of course, this guy called Lippy, who's kind of like Felicia's bodyguard / servant. She's the one that sees Felicia now because she spends a lot of time in the apartment because she hides underneath the mask. But overall, this is a good follow-up to it. I really wish they made another one of these. Now, this and X-Men Noir, the only ones get sequels. Everything else gets like a one-shot miniseries. Now, both these miniseries are 4 issues apiece. There's like no change in the artwork, which I do like that. I like consistency when it comes to this. I would have liked it if they did another Noir miniseries for Spider-Man. Maybe introduce some more villains. But it seems like they could have done a lot more with this. Maybe this one could make a good ongoing series. X-Men, I could definitely see that one being an ongoing series. Daredevil, probably not. But probably just Spider-Man and the X-Men. But, excuse me. Spider-Man and the X-Men are the only ones get Noir miniseries. Daredevil's had one. Luke Cage, The Punisher, Deadpool has one set in this universe, but it's not called Deadpool Noir. I think that's like Deadpool Wade Wilson's War. I think it is. I don't remember the name of it. That one I gave a 9. This one I'm giving an 8 because it's a pretty good follow-up, but it's a lot more graphic in this one than it is in the first one. I love the artwork in here. The only reason why I think of an extra star, because not like the first one I give that one 9. This one I give 8 mainly because it's a pretty good follow-up. It's a bit graphic and a bit kind of, well, it's like some of it basically is not really well explained, but I really wish they could have done another one of these. Alright? Alright, that's it. Next episode is 103. I'm not going to do it right now, but I will do one soon, near future. Next is something I haven't done in a couple months, but you'd be surprised what it is. Okay? Take care. Bye.